Welcome back. Let's see. Let's make this work well. Okay, not perfect, but we're gonna say it's fine. All right. So welcome back. I have been going through Endgame. It's a book on Bobby Fischer, and for some reason, I realized, like, you know what? I don't think I've actually gone through the games of the '72 championship. I don't know how that's even possible. So I'm gonna go through them, guess the move style. So I'm not gonna be looking at the moves. I'm not gonna use the engine unless like we decide we need to. We're just gonna go through the game. What's up, Danjamin? How are things? So let's get started. I don't even know if Pat Spassky plays D4 or E4 in this game or in this tournament. All right, so he plays D4. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Fischer is playing. I mean, I know he's famous for playing the King's Indian, so I'm going to guess knight f6. Okay. And then I would assume c4. And then g6. Ooh, e6. So definitely not a King's Indian. Going into what, like a QGD here? Good, you won round 1 of your 2026 club championship. That's what I'd like to hear. Nice. Okay, I'm going to guess knight c3. Okay. Knight f3. Seems fine. Are we going to see d5 here? Are we going to see, like... Is he avoiding the Nimzo here? So if he went here, then we go into the Nimzo? Let's put an opening date. Yeah, so then we'd be in the Nimzo. So then maybe that's what he was doing. Maybe he was dodging the Nimzo. I don't know of Fischer as a Nimzo player, but maybe that's what's happening there. Rosinger, what's up, my friend? Do we want to flip the board from Fischer's perspective? Yeah, I was wondering that. I decided not to, but maybe we should. Maybe we should. I think for this one, I'm going to keep it this way because I would not be playing... Well, maybe I would play what Black's playing. I might want to play the Nimzo. Yeah, so I think he's just avoiding the Nimzo. So then is it d5 and just go into Queen's Gambit? Okay. Yeah. So interesting. So here I would take. I've become pretty enamored with this structure. Taking, they take, and now you've got the Carlsbad structure. I've scored really exceptionally well with it. I've been running the numbers and just shocked. Okay, so he plays the normal move. I would say most people would just develop the knight. I would assume Bishop E7 here, unless he wants to go into the accepted variation. Oh, okay. So what is this, like the Rogozin? Is that what this is? Let's see. Database calls this, yeah, the Rogozin. Never played the Rogozin. Something I thought about, like if I'm gonna play the Nimzo, which I'm actually working on, I might end up playing the Nimzo at some point. Well, I certainly will in like blitz games, but maybe over the board. So this is really interesting for me because the Rogozin is something I've thought about. I don't even know what white is supposed to do here. I mean, certainly some options are this check here, which wins the piece, but does not win the piece, of course. Well-known thing. The knight just comes out and defends. Could go here, sort of like one of the moves in the Nimzo. This is one of the moves in the Nimzo. I suppose you could just go here and break the pin that way. All of these moves seem fine to me. I have to imagine they're all database moves that people play and are fine. And Andres's course, he goes for a queen a4 check line, sort of misplaced the knight. All right, so you're saying in Andres' toss course, he goes here with the claim that probably this knight is blocking this pawn, which wants to do a pawn break to c5. That makes sense. And then my question would be, then what? Does it come back or not? My guess is that is not what Fischer does here, or Spassky does here. I'm going to guess Spassky is going to play... I'm going to guess queen c2. Okay. He just plays e3 and says, you can take. That's fine. So is this now the Nimzo? Are we just in the Nimzo? Feels like we are. Okay. I guess the Nimzo doesn't normally have an early d5, so maybe it's still technically not the Nimzo. Comes back on the... Okay, so when that comes out. Let's see. What is this classified as? This is still a Rogozin. Okay. So what is Fischer gonna do here? Castling seems like the very obvious move. Another move could be c5. Those are really the only two moves I would be considering here. I mean, you could move the knight to d7, but I think I would want to save the possibility at least of moving my knight to c6. So I guess let's calculate c5 real quick. If takes, that's fine. If like takes here, we'd be stuck with this ISO. Is that a good ISO or a bad ISO? I'm not sure. And I guess we don't have to do that. If takes, we go here, and not have the ISO. I think I would castle first. I think I'm going to castle first. Knight e4 is aggressive. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess knight e4 is interesting. I didn't think about that. So knight e4 would leave us in this spot where we're really on this pretty heavily. We're threatening to win a pawn. Now white is forced to do something. Probably either here or here. I think Fischer will castle, but I don't know. Lots of possibilities. Okay, so he does castle. I'm going to say developed his bishop. I don't know where. I'm going to say d3 seems fine. Okay. And now I feel like we have to make a real move with black. Like, moves so far have been pretty easy to guess. And now there's possibilities here, right? Knight e4, like Danjamin said, looks pretty reasonable. We could take that pawn now that this bishop has moved. I think now that the bishop has moved, it's kind of a clear sign. Let's just take the pawn. We win the tempo. I think that's what I would do, with the idea of probably following up with c5 maybe next. I think those are the only moves I'm really considering here. I suppose maybe b6, c5. I know this kind of stuff would be interesting, but it seems to me like let's just take the pawn while we've got like the free tempo. Yeah, Benjamin says the same. So let's okay, no, it's going right to c5. Okay. We already looked at c5. c5, it seems like a fine move. We're contesting the center. This could resolve, I think, in many ways. If I'm white here, I think I want to go this way, so that they don't get that free tempo. And then if they go here, and I guess we go here, and looks pretty even. Maybe we're even winning with this idea. So yeah, I think I would take this way. This is the difference, I think, between me and really good players. Somehow it didn't even dawn on me that why don't we just leave it? I mean, it did, I guess, but I really thought, like, this is kind of annoying. I don't really want to give them the free tempo, so why not just take away that opportunity? Our knight is pinned. I think I want to castle. Okay, I guess that's fair. Let's look, like, if here... What about, like, right onto this? Hitting the pin. Takes, on this twice. I don't know. I think white looks pretty good here. Let's just see what the engine says with this kind of situation here. The engine says it's basically equal. Maybe a slight lead for black. But castles is also totally fine, of course. We're just in even territory. Okay. But the question is, what does Fischer do now? Does Fischer take? Could take any number of ways. Could also just play like knight c6. Could play b6. I think all of those moves seem totally fine to me. I still think I want to play d takes c4 though. This pawn cube does always bother me as well. I think it's because of how... Yeah, exactly. I think I'm with you, Brosinger. I think one of the reasons why I'm so eager to resolve this from both sides is there's just so many different possibilities that I think it's just taxing on my mind, right? If we can only hold so many pieces in our short-term memory, I think trying to hold all the different possibilities here is a lot. And I don't have the intuition yet to know how every one of these works out. I have to regularly calculate them, and I think that is why this tension bothers me. A lot of tension, a lot of options for black. Yeah, so I think I would take here, but that might just be because I'm a coward. I won't be shocked if he develops the knight. Yeah, developing the knight seems quite reasonable. I guess coward wasn't the right word. Fragile, weak of mind, those were probably better. Back to the same spot for white. I don't really know what white does here. Like, the bishop on c1, I'm not in like a huge hurry to develop it to d2. It doesn't really do much. Again, I think I would probably play c takes d5. But is that necessary? Maybe not. Does this knight change anything? Takes. I guess it does leave us with an isolated pawn if we let that happen. So maybe we want to go this way instead. And then they take. And then if we go here, here, again, this wins the game. So I think maybe I'm going this way. And he's like, no, let's just make the bishop move. So here's a big question. Do we take the knight with the bishop? So if we take, and they take back, and let's say they go this way. Wait, no. If they take, and we take back, this is hanging now. So maybe they take here first. I take, they take, I take, they take, and we're left with this isolated pawn. I think I would take here, but I know Fischer really, really loves the double bishops. So I won't be shocked if he just kind of comes back and says, you know, I'm not really gaining that much by disrupting this pawn structure, but I would take here. Yeah, he goes back. Let's see what the engine says here. I'm curious. Probably both are fine. Yes, both are 100% equal to the engine. It's just kind of preference. Yeah, so Danjamin's with me. Let's take on c3. Let's mess up the structure. Like, they have to go here. Then we go here. This just looks pretty decent to me. Maybe because we can go here. And then this is being hit, so we have to go this way. And then they take. And I guess this doesn't look that good. This is just even. In fact, maybe this looks slightly better for white. The engine says much better for white. +1. Okay. I didn't realize. Again, like, I'm realizing something about my game. I'm not good at these pawn cubes. I just can't quite comprehend how it's going to shake out. So he moves the bishop back. Not shocking. Can't go here, right? Just b takes, drops the pawn. So that bishop's going to still get to stay on this diagonal. I don't even know if he cares about this diagonal anymore. The pin's gone. I don't know. This pawn cube is really bothering me. Do we do something like just pull him around? Do we go here and here? I think all of those seem fine. Probably the knight move back is the worst of the bunch. I think probably just developing at this point is right. And then let's, you know, then we can move the knight, the rook to here. What about dc5 for white? dc5 for white, then b4 is possible. Wait, yeah, this hangs. I forgot. The whole point of this is that we had to take, or this hangs. So yeah, I think I would take here, actually. Take here, and seems like we're up a pawn. He goes back. Okay, let's look at takes, because this seems like a very reasonable move. How's this going to shake out? This is even, because now he takes, and when we take, our pawns look pretty ridiculous. That makes sense. So technically we're up a pawn, but we're up a pawn in a very precarious spot. So that's quite interesting. Okay, so he doesn't do that. He instead just drops the knight back, which is interesting. I looked at that, right, and I was like, I don't know. Is that good? But it kind of makes sense to me because I don't really know what I want to do with the bishop yet. So, and that knight doesn't seem like it's really well placed there, so I can buy that. For Fischer, I don't know. I kind of feel like we should take here. Or here. Again, pawn cube just driving me crazy. I feel like b6. Actually, I don't want to play b6 because of this bishop. I think I want my bishop here. I think this is a decent move. It feels... I don't know if I want to say unnecessary to do it right now. But I think that's where its final destination is going to be. So I don't want to play b6 and block it off. I'm not saying I want to play this now. I don't know. I think I would resolve the pawn cube. I won't be shocked if he goes back. So that then he can do this and this. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, so we're finally resolving this pawn cube. Then the question is, do we do the other one as well? I think the answer is yes. What? Okay, this is a bizarro move to me. What is happening? Like, let's say it all works out perfect for Fischer, and his bishop isn't stuck looking ridiculous, and now it looks like this. It still looks ridiculous to me. It's still really blunted, whereas going here just seems so much better, and we could just take, and let's say takes here. We don't even have to move the bishop. I don't know. That just looks much better to me. Here, let's see what the engine thinks of this position. Engine says white has the ever so slight lead. And here, exact same lead. What does the engine like best, James? This looks like such a weird move to you. Okay, so the engine likes best this move. C takes d4. Okay. I mean, the engine doesn't dislike Fischer's move. It's just optically, it looks so weird and bad. Okay. But he goes here. Let me just make sure Twitch is actually up and working since there's no comments yet. Twitch. Right. Oop. Okay. Okay. It was not muted, even though I clicked mute. Okay, so we're good. Alright, let's continue. White. I don't think white wants to move here, right? Because if takes, we just probably take this way. Right, so takes. Yeah, that works fine. So I think maybe even b3 and fianchetto the bishop. I think that's what I would want to do. Danjamin says, ideally, I would think black wants a pawn on b6 to fianchetto the light squared bishop. Yeah, I felt the same way. That's why it seemed like this square was so much better. I thought that's what we were doing, right? And then it was going to be here, here. This just feels so weird. But maybe Hysteria's after this take, like, it's going to be reasonable. I don't know. Hello, fair Robin Renee. How are things doing? Okay, so I'm going to say b3. It looks like a weird move to me. Maybe... I guess we can't move the knight here, right? Maybe even this, and then we can play b4. And do that for... Yeah, maybe I like that better. So here, here, b4. Now maybe the bishop goes here. Yeah, so I think I take. Yeah, as weird as that looks, like sort of freeing up the bishop, I think getting the b4 for free to be able to play bishop b2 is worth it. Okay, I just assumed we were taking back right away, so I just flipped it. But, so he's going to take with the queen first to let him have the open file. I guess it will be easy to contest, but Fischer seems like he's playing very weird to me. Okay, coming back to this. And that, again, I don't like. I mean, maybe the thought is, now I'm going to play b6, fianchetto, go here, and I've got everything guarding that square. My opponent will not get the open file. It's a little slow. Let's say we go here, here. Okay, maybe that's also why coming back to here, right? So I thought coming to here is a better square. Well, first of all, they can't do that now because the rook's covering it. Could go here to go here. But then after this, now this knight is in trouble and has to move or risk the pawns being mangled. So I think that's why he went there. Makes much more sense now that I'm going a little deeper with it. As you said, Fischer is a KID player. Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's not coming. Oh, yeah, interesting. Yeah, maybe he's just used to King's Indian and not as used to these. I'm not sure. Also, I'm not saying he's making the wrong moves. It's just, from my vantage point, as a terrible chess player, they don't seem like the moves I would have made. All right, I think this is an obvious move. I mean, these bishops look amazing. We can double on the open file. It almost looks like a game from, like, a basic textbook on how to use bishops well. Right, like, okay, then we put our bishops on the open diagonal. It's just, this position looks amazing for white. Let's see what the computer says. Is white crushing here? All right, guess the evaluation time. I would have said 0.6 to 0.8 for white. I'm wrong. Yeah, bishop e2 looks natural. I agree. The actual evaluation is 0.1 for white, so no advantage at all, which is a little bit shocking to me. All right, I think black pretty clearly plays g6 here. What? I mean, doesn't this hang a piece? What am I missing? Takes, hanging a piece. Okay, so we take. I think they have to take. Takes. Here, fork is covered. What? Are these the actual moves? Because this. What am I missing? How does this not hang a piece? I am very confused right now. Bishop takes a1 at the end. Yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, that is the difference. So it's takes, winning a piece. The bishop is now here, taking the rook. And we can't take back. So we end up going down. We win 2 pieces, and we go down the exchange. So look at that. I'm ready to go down the exchange. Oh, my. Yeah. Rook in the corner pocket. Okay. So that doesn't win. It still looks vulnerable though. Like, can we go? What if we play, say, rook d2, rook d1? We're doubled on that guy. So, like, let's say rook d2 protects the other rook. Now we are threatening this move. So now the bishop has to move. And that doesn't look great. So I think we just double here. Hi, Doc. Long time since I've seen you streaming. Well, good to see you again, Brad Hinton. How are things? Oh, okay. Danjamin likes rook c1. Okay. Now we are threatening the... How are we threatening the bishop with rook c1? Oh, yeah, because we're off the corner. Yeah, that's reasonable. I imagine backing it up with one of the rooks. That's the rook I would have chosen. And now... What? Doubling the rooks looks worse now since we've spent the time to already move the rook once. So I still think white is better. Maybe better is the wrong word. I think I would prefer to be white. Yes, I am analyzing the games from the Fischer Spassky World Championship from 1972. I decided I think I'm going to go through them all. I have never done that before. Not in a deep way where I'm actually going move by move and trying to figure this out. I don't know. I don't really know what white does here. White's position... Okay, this is a good moment. This is one of those spots in my own game where I would be like, my bishop's great. Both bishops are great. My rooks are great. This knight is great. This knight isn't bad, but it is controlling some useful squares. I suppose I could come into here or here. But I don't see a real natural improving move, so I think I would just either double or improve this knight. Maybe even just knight here looks fine. So I think I'm going to say knight d4. Okay. Now the question is, should Fischer take the knight? If he takes the knight, they take back. Probably with the knight. Doesn't have to be, though. They could take back with the rook and then double. Maybe that's the way to go. So let's say it's like takes here. Now we can't double. We could drop back, but then they take. This could actually end up being vulnerable. Yeah, I think I'm taking here. I think I'm taking. What book? You like Sarah One's No Regrets. I'm not using the book. I found a Lichess study that someone had just put up of the games with no annotations, and I just cloned that. You would take. It will help. Yeah, I think so too. I think. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that too. Yeah, the bishop on c6 would be much stronger. I think you have to take. The question becomes, though, how do you take back? And with your statement, and with the analysis we just looked at, I think it's probably better to take the knight. Take with the knight. Now the knight's really well positioned. They can't really put their bishop on c6. The bishop continues to be kind of bad. Maybe the bishop slides back to here. I think taking with the knight is better. Okay. Now what does Fischer do? I feel like Fischer's in a weird spot. His pieces look 1-to-1 all worse than white's, but not catastrophically worse. I think my plan would be like here, maybe here, maybe here, something like that would be like the goal. But this looks like a very non-committal, reasonable first move that makes my piece better. And I think I would be happy with that because I don't think there's anything pressing here. Okay, that also I think is totally fine, right? We're hitting this guy. We're making this piece so much better. The question is, okay, this is a little scary, right? Because now this guy's pinned and maybe even this wins. Maybe. Looks like it wins, right? Can't move. No, can move. Can go here and back up the rook. But still, this looks a little dangerous. So maybe I'm going here. If I do that, I also can't ever double. So I like this move a lot by Fischer. I think that's a good move. And I think I'm going to go here. Okay, that's a better move. that's a much better move than what I had in mind. Yeah, Danjamin, you're right. Bishop e3 is much better. This move, I think, is fine, but it's a little weird. We're not directly dealing with this. We can't double. I think this is a worse move. The engine says this is -0.2. The engine says this is perfectly even. I would buy that. Yeah, totally buy that. All right. So then the question is, does black take or does black run away? Could come back to here or something. I think black takes. I think it's clear this bishop is doing more than this bishop. I think we take. It also dislodges the knight. Then we can go here, and it looks like a totally even game to me. Okay, take with the knight, and then I'm not just going to click it, but I think it's rook c8. That seems like a reasonable move. Could take here first, here, and kind of play for a draw. Maybe not play for a draw, but have a draw-ish game. I guess it's also important that with this knight moving, maybe this knight just comes here. It covers this infiltration. What about here, goes back, infiltrates, here. I guess maybe I don't like that. I don't want a rook to land on the 7th, so I think I'm going here. This is the very infamous game. Yeah, I think it is. I have a vague recollection of this game. I think I know the move that Fischer makes to lose, but it might not be this game. And also, I don't see how that move happens here, but I'm not sure. Okay, so he does take. Okay. Takes back. Now what? Do you go here? Or do you say the infiltration squares are covered, I'll go here? But if you go here, takes, and then he infiltrates, hitting this. Kind of have to go here. Yeah, so I don't think that works. But if you go here, then you can go here. We're kind of dealing with the same thing. I guess an important point, though, is if you go here... No, sorry. If you go here, here, infiltrates, you don't get mated because of the knight. Okay, so I think you need to go here and oppose. Rook AC8, just complete development. I don't think Rook AC8 works. Okay, he does go. I thought I just showed that it doesn't work. Because now one of these two pawns is falling unless you're willing to go super passive. Maybe you say that is fine. I'm going here. Here. Maybe you're making the claim that your bishop against the knight is better in an open position. But this is this is certainly what I would have considered is this move. So let's see what the engine says. The engine says that this plan is full equality. And that black is going to play any number of moves. But rook c3 hitting the knight is quite good. Let's say knight d2. And then now we're just trading pawns. Okay, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. How good rook a c3 would be attacking both of these. I totally missed that. So it's like a tactical motif I missed. So if that's the case, then we can go here. I would prefer doing that. That looks strong. So now what? If I am white, this knight is weird. I would definitely consider moving here. The only problem is it limits this rook. Maybe then they even come over here pinning the knight. Can't actually do anything other than maybe move, which is probably fine. Then this, we just move the knight. So I'd probably move the knight. I think probably moving the knight to here is what I would do. I think moving the king over is a very fine idea. This black bishop looks bad, but it is doing a job here. So I don't really want to move it. So I probably just moving the king over as well. And then the question is, do they both move over again? And that seems quite reasonable to just move them both over again. Yeah, that's even better. Oh, okay. So not here. This looks like a reasonable move. Moving. Oh, maybe the reason why he doesn't move over again is now this guy is stuck because of this pin. He'd have to go here. So he wants to break that first. And now this is here, but maybe he just develops there. I think I'd be pretty tempted to go here. Like, this knight can't go anywhere. Interesting. Like, here, and here. I think that's what I would do. Interesting. So, opposing the rook. It's kind of a weird move, because rook takes, bishop takes. The bishop's clearly in a worse spot than it was a second ago. I don't know that that matters. Also, I think I would go here. And I feel like the position has pretty dramatically shifted towards black. I don't think black's winning, but I think black's better. So it went from it's 0.1, whereas here it's zeros. So okay, so it's all just ties. We're just looking at ties. What? Interesting, because this bishop looks cruddy and looks... Okay, so maybe the point is I'm being ridiculous. This is a really nice diagonal. But what is it hitting? The answer is nothing. The answer is Absolutely nothing. The pawns have left that area. I guess what I was thinking is it holds this bishop off from being able to go here. The bishop can't really go here either. So it does make this bishop look pretty minimized, and maybe that is good enough. Okay, I have to take care of like two things real quick I forgot about. Okay, there's one. I just have to make sure my child is being picked up, which I believe she is. Okay. Okay, f3 would not have been good. Knight e4 threatens knight c3 check. Ooh, that is a good point. Okay, good point. Okay, so he goes f6. Okay, seems a little weird to me, but I guess it's fine. We're going to go e5 and take some space. Putting all the pawns on the same color as that bishop is a little weird. But what other choice do we have, I guess? Okay. White. White's in a weird spot where I would love to start moving the king to the center, but then this hangs. And if we go here, then this check. Do we care, though? Do we just go here, here, here? Yeah, I think that works. I think we can play f3 now. I want to get an a5 for black if possible. a5. Interesting. So this would be like takes, but then this. I mean, a5 now wouldn't work, so I think he must mean something like this and this or something. What is happening? Yeah, okay. Ooh, not f3. Is f3 bad? Or is it just they're all... No, f3's not bad. It's all equals. Yeah, okay, it's not possible. I agree. Okay, so that looks a little strange to me. I guess the point is if he pushes away, we go here and we're winning this pawn. So that's pretty great. If he does nothing, we've got this idea. Though I'm not sure what this knight is doing either. But, I don't know, maybe it's just this knight's bad. Let's start getting him better. Black, I don't know, king f7. Moving the knight backwards. Okay. Seems like an odd move to me. Why are we just really saying, hey buddy, now you can't get to c4, and so if you want to do anything with this knight, you got to go back. You don't get to improve the knight, and at the same time we're protecting this pawn? That seems pretty good, because in my world, I didn't want to go here, but then I also totally forgot this is hanging. So this is kind of an only move, I think. And then, I don't know, now maybe the king comes up to d3. Seems reasonable. Yeah. And suddenly black looks slightly worse again. Do we want to go here? Threatening to take here, so they probably go back. And then we go here. It's not the best diagonal. It's pretty blunted. Maybe here, actually. Threatening some stuff over there. Yeah, so I think I would go here. Alright. And then I don't think I let this happen. This looks very ugly to me. So this feels like a forced move. Okay. I guess it's not forced, right? I was thinking we were covering this square because we were before. But if we take and they take, then suddenly their king is very, very active. And seems quite good. But if we don't take, we're in trouble. So I think we need to move the king up. Okay, or the bishop up. And they take, and we take. And who's winning here? I think if anyone is leading, it's black because of all the pawns on light squares, but dark squares. But I don't think that's a real lead. I think I might be tempted to play b5 here. Just put stuff on the light squares and say there's no way I can lose. I don't know if I can win. Of course, there's this takes. And I think this is this famous moment where Fischer does take here and it loses. And it looks like an obvious blunder because of this here, then here, then here, and this guy's not getting out. You're winning. But I'm forgetting Fischer had a line where he thought he was getting out. He thought it was like here, here, and then maybe something like this, 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 and then takes, and comes out that way. It's something like that. So I'm remembering now this is how it works. Offer draw. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a draw. I'm going to guess best move here is b5. Oh, sorry, it's not. It's not. It's not Black's turn to move. I don't know. Maybe even here. Nope. Yeah, here. And then here. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so now Fischer can't get on the light squares. And so I think he takes. If I'm not mistaken, he takes. Yeah. So what's a better move here? Possibly here. And then if takes, we're on the light squares. If pushes, it's a few moves before he gets up to this. Maybe that even falls. If takes. I guess the king gets over faster than ours, so maybe that doesn't work. I don't really know. It just feels very like this should be an easy draw for a grandmaster. I don't know here. Feels like about anything is fine other than bishop takes. Yeah, everything's fine. A6, king, f5, I'm sure e5. Everything's fine. It's a draw. It's just a draw. It's just a draw. And then he goes here. And it looks like a beginner blunder to me. But I guess it's not. Because Fischer had something he thought he saw. So this looks like any beginner's like, yeah, no, this is a beginner move. Like only a beginner would do this. Not a beginner, but like, you know, even someone at my level isn't making this move because I can easily see this problem that the bishop's immediately trapped. And then after here, and he doesn't get out. But I'm thinking it was something like this. Yeah, so it's h5. Then the king comes down, and then h4, and it does look like the bishop gets out, right? Because if you go here, here. So how come he doesn't get out? Is the problem here? Here. And it looks like he's trapped. So there. He went there. What? Isn't he trapped? No. And he is fully trapped and just down a piece. So I think that must be what he... I don't... It's kind of weird. Like this... Okay, yeah, that works, right? So this he gets out. So did he actually miss this move? Was that what he missed? Because this looks like a blunder. But then he's like, oh, I have h5. Like, I calculate this is fine. I go here. He goes here, and I'm out. But if he goes there, and then he's lost. So let's see how deep is this calculation? So it's 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves. It's only on move 3. So it's kind of a shocking oversight, not just from a world champion, but like Fischer at his peak, right? This isn't even like, I don't know, a regular world champion. This is like the world champion of world champions. That's what I think makes this such a shocking moment. World champions are probably more blundersome than other top level games due to nerves. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. So yeah, so that's just it. What about h3? So here, h3. Oh yeah, to stop him from coming in here. Yeah, that's actually very interesting. But then, doesn't he just die this way? Now it's almost worse. No, because you can't get in here. Ooh, interesting. So what does h3 do then? h3... It looks fine. No, you go here. But then here. And then here, and then here. here, here, and he's loose. What? What a good catch. H3. I don't know. I think we're going to have to use the computer for this one. For H3, he goes here, 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 and what's the move? It's not this. It's the quiet move first to prevent that. And now, once again, it's fully stuck. Okay, so nothing gets out. Interesting. Fischer does not resign. He plays for 20 more moves. So unfortunately, I don't have time to play on guess the move for 20 more moves. So we're just going to kind of play out the game from here. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, and this feels like a spot to just kind of go and see. Okay. So it is interesting that these are stuck on white squares, so he can theoretically harass. Maybe the idea is to go here, so that no, he still can get those pawns. That's really, maybe it's here, here. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, still that. Wait, why not here? +2, because now it just comes around this way. Got it. And then probably here. Nope, not there. Here. If here, then he's just coming in, eating all these. Okay. Interesting. So he doesn't do that. He brings the king this way, giving up on that side. Hits the pawn. Takes, I imagine. Oh, no takes. Wow, okay. Takes. Okay, I guess it's kind of the same. In this way, it's that whole theory of like more pawns on the board for the side trying to win is probably better. So now, like, if this king has to be, like, if we can sack the bishop for these pawns and eat, this is so deep. If the king can get in here, then he'll just be able to win. It says holdable. All it took was 3 messages to overtake your #1 pitch. Okay. Interestingly, the computer only doesn't like F5. Yeah, H3 did look very interesting. It says holdable? What? Hold on. A3. You're saying after A3 it's holdable? Here? Oh, yeah, the engine says that it's bad. Well, no, it keeps getting worse is the problem. Oh, okay, interesting. The engine sees that we're losing the piece, but says, like, I don't know, maybe. Like +1. Okay. Interesting. So where are we? We're here. Then he starts pushing. We come around to eat some pawns. We got to take. And he takes. Then we go up. And now the king is totally stuck over here. This is going to be check, and it's going to come through a bit. Wow, that's really interesting. So do we go, like, here, waste the move, here, go up this way, and try to come around that way, or over even to there, knowing we're going to have to sack this? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sack a bunch to support it. So yeah, it looks like white would be fast enough. It's here, here. Okay, these look like weird bishop moves to me. Oh, okay. Leaving behind that position. Just kind of wasting time. And now, yeah, now this bishop looks super strong. The king can't move. I move. Imagine we're gonna see this check. Okay, goes back. I think I would go here and here. Okay, and then here and here, and now the game looks well over. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This runs. And this guy... Man, it's kind of complicated, but it looks like white should be fine. Oh, he doesn't even go for the pawn. Fascinating. Now he does. King moves up. King's coming over. He's going to get the pawn. And now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tempo to queen. And here we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it does win the race. But we can go here and sack. So we should be fine. And he goes that way. And now, yeah, this is going to be over. Wow. What a fascinating end to the first World Championship game. Especially since it's just a dead draw. And then Fischer makes this move. I remember Fischer explained this move of why he did it. And what he saw, but I don't remember what he saw. Because it can't... I just don't think it was he saw he'd missed this. That seems too easy for him. I wonder if it's that he calculated all of this and thought that here maybe his pawns were overwhelming. Maybe that's what he decided. I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to look at that. Yeah, resign time. So, I don't know. Are you guys shocked by this end? And does anybody know what Fischer intended? Let's see. I have like another minute or two. Let's see. I'm going to look it up. Fischer Spassky 1972 game 1. Why did Fischer play bishop takes h2? Okay, come on, Google. Come up with an answer for me. Many analysis believe Fischer missed that after bishop takes h2, g3, h5, king e2, h4, f3, king g4, the follow-up bishop g1. Okay, hold on. That's too much. It's too much to say. So what is the thought? The thought is that he missed takes g3, h5, king e2, h4, king f3, h3, king g4, and that the follow-up, this doesn't work because of the bishop d2 at the end. Okay, so that does make sense, right? Like, this is really hard to see from all the way back there that this move crushes your dreams. Because I think if you see this from here and you're like, and then I'm out. No, sorry, and then I'm out by just going here. Like, this looks, and that's a very deep calculation, right? Let's look how far deep we are now. So now we're 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, did I do that in the wrong order? Okay, I don't know what happened. Here, 4. Okay, not there. What do we have here? Okay, yeah. So 5, 6, 7. So we have to see that on like move 6 or 7 deep. You can do that. That makes sense, right? To me, that makes total sense that 7 moves deep, he didn't see this quiet move. So that actually makes sense. Yeah. Do you think he calculated the bishop loss but thought the ending was still equal? I think this makes more sense. That he thought that he missed this 7 moves in. Because that is a very... Like, I could see a world-class player missing... Like, if this was a forcing move, then I can't see it. But this is a pretty quiet move to see that that's going to disrupt this 7 moves deep. So, that's what I'm going to go with. But it's an interesting one. I'm going to head out. Thanks so much for coming by, everybody. I'm going to try to do the whole thing. I'm going to try to do this whole